Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be talking about the parameters and arguments. So before I do get into this, if you are new to CS or if you want to land that dream internship or job, check out the first link in the description. It's a free guide I built to help you accomplish that goal. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So let's go ahead and return to our trip welcome function one more time. So let's modify our function to give a welcome that is a bit more detailed. Now the definition trip welcome goes like this. And again, if you print it out, it's just going to print out whatever is in the function, right? We all know that. Very straightforward here. Our function does a really good job of welcoming anyone who is traveling to Times Square, but a really poor job if they're going anywhere else, really. So that is where we have a function that's called dynamic functions. Now we're going to learn the concept of parameters. Function parameters allow our function to accept data as an input value. So we list the parameters a function takes between the parentheses. So for example, if you put like in between the parentheses right here, if you put a parameter, that means it takes in something to do it with that. So in the context of our trip welcome function, it would look something like this. So if we had, let's say, trip welcome, and then you had a parameter of destination. Now we can make it more dynamic. So by making it dynamic, it's like you can change what destination you want. So in the example above, we define a single parameter called destination and apply it to our function body in the second print statement. We're telling our function it should expect some data passed in for the destination that it can apply to any statements in the body, in the function body. But how do we actually use this parameter? Our parameter of destination is used by passing an argument to the function when we call it. So, for example, if we go ahead and call the function and we put in Times Square in between the parentheses, right? It's gonna basically do exactly what the function says. Now, instead of destination, we chose Times Square. Now it's gonna print out, welcome to Trip Academy. Looks like you're going to Times Square today. Now that's very crafty, right? So to summarize this, here's a quick breakdown of the distinction between a parameter and an argument. The parameter is the name defined in the parentheses. So you can, another like tip that I use to personally remember that is parameter and parentheses. Like when you're first defining like a function, you have to put it inside of the parentheses. So that's how personally I remember it. And then the argument is the data that is passed in when we call the function, which is then assigned to the parameter name. So this is the argument, which is a value, right? Let's write a function with parameters and call the function with an argument to see it all in action. So we want to create a program that allows our users to generate the directions for our upcoming trip. Now create a function called generate trip instructions that defines one parameter called location. All right, so let's go ahead and start coding here. The moment you guys have been waiting for. So we'll do generate trip instructions, and then it takes in a location as a parameter. And again, we don't want to forget the definition here with the parentheses. Let me do that. Yeah, perfect. Okay, it's gonna call it. Since we do not define any code in our function yet, we're gonna get an error like so. And don't worry, we'll be filling in the code in the next step. So generate trip instructions should print out the following. Looks like you're planning a trip to visit blank. So we're going to do this. Print. And now instead of doing that, I can simply just do a plus and then location here. Perfect. Now generate trip instructions should also let the users know that they can reach their location using a public transit. So we're going to add this in as well. So the print, and then remember you can use the public system subway to get to wherever location. Perfect. Next, time for some greenery. Let's see what happens when we call the function and input the Central Park. So Central Park is going to be our argument here. So generate trip instructions, and we put in that in there, and there you go. It says, looks like you're planning a trip to Central Park. You can use the public subway system to get to Central Park. So it's a little more dynamic now. So the day trip is over and we need to get back to the train station to head home. Change the argument to Grand Central Station and call the function again. Generate trip instructions. I can't spell, but trying my very best. There we go, perfect. Calling it, and again, it's going to change it to whatever you put in. So that is a very, very cool thing here. So it's basically gets called whatever you choose to put in as your argument. It basically uses that to display that out. And again, we'll be using it in more, creative ways. Again, this is a very, very simple solutions to it. But yeah, that's going to end it right here. If you did enjoy this, please consider subscribing. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.